Hey everybody, welcome to week 8. It is HBCU Game Day Saturday, and I'm Tolly Carr in the SWAC. We'll start there. We have the undefeated and we have the defeated today. Jackson State, first place in the SWAC East. They're unbeaten against all of their FCS opponents. There was ULM. Should have won that one. Anyway, taking on a winless Bethune-Cookman in the SIP today. I still think a good team, maybe the best winless team out there. But there will be one big thing today that will be missing. Deion Sanders, the head coach, still recovering from that toe surgery, having a rough go at it. Doctors told him, sit this one out, all right? Former head coach Gary Harrell, former head coach at Howard, he's going to take over today, the coaching duties. Earlier this week, our Neely from the pregame show sat down with Coach Flea.
Coach, talk to us about this week's preparation.
This week we try to make sure we stay consistent. Every day, nothing changed. Stay on the same path that Coach Prime put us on. He laid a foundation, put together a great staff. T.C. Williams on offense, running the offense. Dennis Thurman on defense, running the defense. And we want to make sure we do it as a unit and make sure we be leaders of men and show them that even though Coach Prime is not here physically, he's still with us spiritually. We still hear his voice. We still feel his spirit. We want to make sure that we continue to go out and honor him, respect him, and he put us in this position to do what we do what we love. So this week is all about preparing for a team that we know is going to be a tough team. We're coming here with great coaches that I've known for a long time. But it's all about us right now to make sure we stay as one, as a family. Don't lose focus. Understand what is our wanted factor, and just continue to strive for that goal.
So let me double back on that. We're facing a team that's 0-7, 0-4 in the SWAC.
Yes.
How do we get a team ours that's rolling so hard to not take them for granted because of their record?
Yeah, we don't look at the record, we look at the opponent. We know that Bethune-Cookman is a worthy opponent. They play hard. You watch them on film. They're going to get to the ball. They're going to make plays on offense. And, they got a great coaching staff. I know Coach Sims for a very long time. He's been doing it very well for a very long time. And Yogi on defense, a great coach, and we know that they're going to come in with their best. So we got to make sure we show up with our best, but we want to stay consistent once again. As long as we do what we do, we feel like offensively, we move the ball, put points on the board. Defense, we get out to the quarterback, stop the run, and just make them one-dimensional. Special teams continue to be a sniper and go down the field and take that one shot and take that one kill. But we want to make sure that all phases understand that we don't take any opponent lightly. We want to play that team, not the record. We want to play that logo. We want to bring our band, we want to bring our fan base, we want to bring our team into that stadium and make sure we represent JSU all around.
All right, let's take a look at the rest of that SWAC schedule for today. Cut the check, UAPB. Well-deserved money there. Bethune-Cookman, they're going to win one of these weeks. Could it be today in Jackson? FAMU at Valley, more on that in a second. We're going to talk Prairie View and Southern and the nightcap, Alcorn State at Texas Southern. Now, the SWAC standings have some pretty clear front runners, especially in the East. Jackson State controls its own destiny. Could you imagine if FAMU and Jackson State didn't play in the first game and we still had that game on the horizon? Well, we are where we are. All right, out west, we got a couple of players there. Prairie View, A&M, Alcorn State, Southern can make things interesting today as well. We'll have to see. All right, it is deeper dive time now. Let's start with Alcorn State. Rocky start to the season, but they have tightened things up as of late. But like any head coach, Fred McNair, never quite satisfied. Happy with the defense, offense, quarterback. He'd like to see a little bit of refinement.
Offense, we came out, we scored 14 points there in the first half, and our defense played exceptionally well, holding the team down to 4 field goals inside the 20, and plus he had a 50-yard field goal. So they played exceptionally well. I'm proud of what they did. The bend don't break rule, but it's been great for what we're doing here on this campus here at Alcorn State in terms of just constantly winning ball games, which is the ultimate goal. We got a real good team in Texas Southern. We got to travel there this weekend. Coach McKinney is doing a great job of that football program he got. They got some real good players. The quarterback started with the quarterback, good running backs, and they start on defense. We got a job cut out for it. I was telling the team this morning during the team meeting that, it's a very competitive league now. So every weekend you have to lace your cleats up and play every Saturday play your game. So we know we got to go in playing at Texas Southern this coming Saturday. In fact, we still do things better. We constantly doing things that we normally do as far as the passing concepts and what he's doing with the football. But he has to know he's the leader of this offense. So he has to conduct himself that way. A lot of things that he's doing, we got to change some of the stuff that he's doing in terms of his read, his progression and stuff. So, work's still in progress. You know, Pringle, he's solid receiver. You know, and things he do, catch the ball well, run decent routes. And Nico Duffy, can't say enough about him. He's a great pass protector. He's good in the passing game. He catches the ball well out of the backfield, and he runs between the tackles, which is a good thing for him. So we just got to keep it going, just keep those guys upright, and basically just got to keep them healthy.
All right, Prairie View A&M just all unbeaten in the SWAC and still kind of flying under the radar. That's the way Coach Eric Dooley likes it. He's not going to say a lot. He's not going to give you any locker room bulletin board material, just under the radar. That's how he likes to fly. Kind of hard to be under the radar when you're playing at Southern on homecoming, though. It's a big-time environment. The Jaguars could make things interesting today. Probably not a lot of surprises with their offense. They like to run the ball, but Coach Dooley still has to be prepared for anything.
It doesn't change preparation because you just can't go into a game just preparing to stop one thing. You got to go and have a game plan. That's old school football. There's no question about that. You talk to any coach, any player, what you need to do to be successful, stop the run. I mean, it's like it's something that's going to come out automatically, but they do a good job at what they do because they got some great offensive linemen, and now they just exposed another running back because I do know of the other young men that's running the football, but that's in anything that you do. You got to be able to stop the run. So that's football, and that's blocking and tackling.
All right, FAMU and Valley, we're talking quarterbacks. Rashawn McKay getting better and better with time for Mississippi Valley State. Coach Dancy wants to see just a little more consistency from the arm of Jelani Easton.
Rashawn's a guy that is getting better every week. You know, he hasn't played a lot of football in his life. You know, he only played 1 year of high school football, and he's in his really second year of starting, you know, in his life. And so he's only 5 games in. But with every start, he matures, he develops, he grows, the game slows down for him, and you're starting to see the mental aspect catch up to the physical aspect. He's always had a strong arm. He's always been able to drive the ball down the field, but things are starting to slow down as far as his processing. And the more he does, the better he'll be as a quarterback. So he has a bright future. Again, we just have to protect him, be smart, run the football, which we've done the last few weeks, protect him, keep him off the ground. And he's a guy that can lead us to victory, and he's shown that over the last few weeks.
I just didn't think he executed well in our passing game. Of course, we rely on him to do some running himself, but I just think he has to get better and be more consistent in order for us to be better offensively. In order for us to win, he has to be more consistent with the passing game.
Okay, on to the Big South now. North Carolina A&T let a golden opportunity slip away last weekend. Just 7 days ago, they were just outside of Atlanta. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, if and buts, babies and nuts against Kennesaw State. Let's go back in the rewind machine and their game against Kennesaw State. North Carolina A&T at Kennesaw, the blue and gold marching machine got caught in traffic. It's life in Atlanta, but they made it. The fans made it. The cheerleaders made it, so let's ball. A Kennesaw State record, 9,500 fans in the house. Aggies moving the ball early. Jalen Fowler finds Zachary Leslie for a first down. Then on 4th and short, Aggies rolled the dice, moved the chains. Back of the end zone, Elijah Bowick is open for a split second, but Fowler floats it through the uprights. And from the same spot, Andrew Brown misses a 25-yard field goal. The Aggies leave points on the board. Kennesaw State, the triple option machine. First play from scrimmage, a pass. Xavier Shepard to Ian Cousin for 24 yards. But the Aggie defense wasn't an issue on Saturday. First time they've seen the triple option, forcing the Owls into a turnover here on a wild pitch. Aggies looking to peel the top off of the defense. Fowler heaves one to Tavon Cook. Can't get his hands around it. Aggies have to punt, and maybe calling a fair catch is the move on this one. You can avoid those collisions, you know. Kennesaw State starting to find its groove on offense. Shepard to Irving Smith. And this little fire hydrant is hard to tackle. 4 Aggies and a sunburst later, he's down. Next play, Shepard in for the score. KSU goes up 7-zip, and the band played on. Sam Washington encouraging the troops. It works. The Aggie defense forcing another fumble. Its second turnover of the half. Aggies getting aggressive with the good field position. Fowler to Leslie, right off his fingertips in the end zone. Over the middle, ball in the belly, but the ground jars it loose. Just over a minute before the half, Brown again with a chance to put 3 on the board. Missing the 36-yarder. The Owls go to work again. Hurry up offense. Shepard to Adila Adelake with the one-handed grab for a first down. But here comes the Aggie defense again. Third takeaway of the half. Henry Daniel with the interception. 28 seconds to go before the half. Aggies throw 3 incompletions, and they have to punt the ball back to Kennesaw State. The Tigers simply take a knee to end the half, and Sam Washington heading back to the locker room to draw up something new for the Aggies. Second half, that sun goes down. It's our first blanket sighting of the season. A little chilly out there. Every third down, the Kennesaw State band turned it up to pump up their defense. And more times than not on Saturday, it worked. KSU forcing the Aggies into a 3-and-out. On this pitch to Jermaine Martin. The play of the day, we'll call it. Irving Smith. Watch him go big over the top. Boom, shakalaka. Sprinkles. First and goal, you know where we're going. Touchdown by Shepard. Kennesaw State up 14-0. And then it's death by 1,000 paper cuts with first downs that eat up the clock. The Aggies do regroup and put together another drive that has some promise to it. Fowler to Corey Banks for a first down. Cheerleaders holding their guys down with the chill setting in. We're warmer when we're together, ladies. Good thinking. Fowler looking for Banks again. Missed opportunity there. Fowler does find Jamison Warren, his leading receiver on the day, but the drive comes down to this. 4th and 1. Aggies don't get the one. It's a turnover on downs inside the red zone, and Kennesaw runs the clock, giving North Carolina A&T its first loss in the Big South. 14-0, Kennesaw State holds it home. Really, the triple option, that's a tough one to defend. How did you feel like your guys did?
Oh, they did a fantastic job with it. If you look at the amount of yards and points they have scored against the other teams, our first time facing it, I thought they did a very good job. We played well enough defensively to win.
What do you think some of the struggles were offensively for you guys?
We got beat up front too often, and we just could never get nothing going. But for the most part, I thought they played with some passion, but not enough.
I know you have to look at film, but how do you feel looking at this and moving forward for the rest of the season?
Well, we got to build out this. You know, this was a pivotal moment in the season. We say championship season began at Game 6, and we let it get away from us.
Okay, that's over and done with, but there's still time on the clock in the Big South, and that clock is ringing a little further up north today. The Aggies taking on Hampton, the first ever Aggie-Pirate matchup under the Big South umbrella. Our Lute Williams caught up with Coach Sam Washington just before they left North Carolina to see what does he think about the Aggies after a few days after that loss and what worries him, if anything, about Hampton.
Okay, Coach, coming off a tough 14-0 loss to Kennesaw State, where the offense kind of didn't get on track. What have you had to work on this week as you prepare for Hampton?
Really, we had to work on ourselves. You know, staying focused and working on the little detailed things. First step, hip, hand, and eyes. It's all about that eye discipline.
What did you identify from Hampton in terms of the way the offense performed that they didn't do well?
Hampton's offense?
No, I'm sorry, against Kennesaw State.
Our offense?
Yeah.
One thing we didn't do well, I thought, up front, we didn't block well, and they got too much penetration, and that's very unusual, uncharacteristic of our offensive line. So I call it a click behind. You're a step behind. So once we identified that and we got it corrected, and we worked on a lot of little fundamentals and the small details this week that I think going to help us down the way.
Any thoughts about going to a different direction at quarterback in terms of maybe bringing in Ifedi off the bench? Is that something you maybe considered as a part of getting the offense jump started?
But you know what? As they say, hindsight. After it was all over, it crossed my mind.
Yeah.
It didn't cross my mind when it should have.
Yeah.
During the battle, and that's something that I have to get better at.
Now, I know you always don't talk about, it's not about what they do, it's what you do.
Yes.
But what is it about Hampton? What are the things that Hampton does well that you're going to have to defend?
They can throw the football, and that's a concern. We have not defended the pass well this year. So, and they can throw the ball. That kid Bonds is a player, and he made plays. So, but I like mine versus theirs.
What about I know injuries has been a concern, McNeil on the back end as well as Croson. Either of them, you think?
Yes, Amir will be starting.
Okay.
So he'll be present, and unfortunately, DJ will not.
Okay. What about the attitude of the team? How's practice going this week?
I thought it was fantastic. I really was impressed, with the attitude. I think it was harder on me than on them. But that's one of the things that we really guarded against, the coaching staff and the kids bought into. We got to let that one go to move forward.
Okay. So you feel the Aggies are ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. Good luck, Coach.
All right, let's look at those standings heading into today's action. Monmouth and Kennesaw State unbeaten in conference play. Campbell, those Fighting Camels, North Carolina A&T and Robert Morris, all with one conference loss. Hampton right now at 0-2 in conference play. So there we go. The most tightly contested HBCU football game today just might come out of the SIAC. Albany State is hosting Savannah State. They are the two top teams without a doubt in the Eastern Division and possibly the best two teams in the conference. We'll have more on that in a second. But first, let's look at the schedule for the rest of today in the SIAC. Miles at Kentucky State. That will be a good one. Erskine invited to the cookout for another week. I mean, they just have a card in the SIAC, right? Taking on Allen, Central State at Edward Waters, Lane at Tuskegee for Skeegee's homecoming. Clark Atlanta and Fort Valley State both licking some wounds from last week. Savannah and Albany, that's the game. Our Von Wilson will be all over that one today. And then there's the suddenly resurgent. Where did they come from? Where did that offense come from? Morehouse is at Benedict. All right, let's get back to Savannah State and Albany State. We have high-powered offenses on both sides. We have some stingy defenses. I think we need one of those nerdy analyses just to give it even more context. Let's bring in my brother, Von Wilson. He's on it.
Albany, Georgia will be the center of SIAC attention as the East will pretty much be determined on Saturday at 2 p.m. in the Albany State University Coliseum, as the Golden Rams will host the Streaking Tigers of Savannah State University. Coach Gabe Gardenia of ASU will match his wits against SSU's Sean Quinn. The Tigers come in on a 6-game winning streak after dropping the season opener to the Valdosta State Blazers, a convincing loss. Since then, quarterback JT Hardage has led the Tigers to 6 straight victories, putting Savannah State in position to vie for the Eastern Division title. The ASU Golden Rams are on a run of their own, with the same defeat against the VSU Blazers, but by a much closer margin. Quarterback Deontay Banu leads the high-powered Golden Ram offense into the biggest game of the season. Statistically, the teams are a dead heat. Similar offensive statistics and defensive statistics make for an interesting proposition. Rushing, the Tigers hold an edge at 1,922 yards for the season, while the Golden Rams have 1,333. ASU holds the edge in passing with 1,059 yards on the season, while SSU has 744. ASU holds a one-touchdown edge with 9, while SSU has 8. Defensively, the Tigers are led by linebacker Brendan Jackson. For the Golden Rams, 3-time SIAC Defensive Player of the Week Stephon Pierre anchors. SSU holds a total offense edge of 2,397 yards on the season, while ASU has 2,184. In the red zone, it underscores the dead heat these two teams are in. Both teams have had 25 chances in the red zone, with ASU converting 21, SSU converting 20. 18 of those have been touchdowns for ASU, while 17 of those are touchdowns for SSU. Any way you look at it, Saturday will be an exciting matchup that we can't wait to see, and HBCU Gameday will have full coverage of Saturday's matchup, as well as comments from both coaches. It's HBCU Gameday, preparing you for the much anticipated SIAC battle between the Albany State Golden Rams and the Savannah State Tigers.
All right, heading into today, here is a look at the standings in the SIAC. Savannah State and Albany State, pretty much a berth to the championship on the line today. But we have seen some late October runs in the SIAC before. Just watch Morehouse. They play Albany State next week. Just watch them, okay? In the West, we still have a lot of figuring out to do. So we'll try and straighten that out another week. But let's hope all of the action this Saturday matches those high-powered games we saw last Saturday. Selector! It's time to come down and rewind once again. All right, Clark Atlanta coming off a win against Allen, looking to upset things in the apple cart in the SIAC. Savannah State not having it, not at all. The Tigers ran out to a big lead on Saturday, up 21-0 early second quarter on 2 back-breaking plays. Anij Carter took the handoff here, going, gone! 73 yards. He's in the end zone. Savannah State up 14-0, 2:19 to go in the quarter. Then Naeem Bozeman took a punt return to the house. Whose house? Savannah's house. 53 yards, and yeah, not going to catch him. Special team, something special there. 21-0 lead was all the defense needed. Clark Atlanta took advantage of some turnovers and ideal field position to put 14 points on the board. But outside of that, it was all Savannah State. 279 yards rushing, 4 rushing touchdowns. That defense held CAU to just 23 yards rushing in a 49-14 win.
Savannah State's going to put this one on ice. Big play. Salik McCray takes it all the way in.
Morehouse, please explain to me what in the world is going on? A dismal start to the year, starting out 0-5 the last 2 weeks. Straight fire! Open up a can of you know what on everybody. They led a good Fort Valley State team 44-0 at the half last weekend. Playing across the street at Clark Atlanta because of ongoing stadium renovations, maybe they should just play there like all the time. Pick your poison with Morehouse on Saturday. There was a pick 6. There was an 83-yard pass and catch for a score. Still in the first half now. An 84-yard touchdown run and an absolutely dominating 51-3 win. 445 yards of total offense. Morehouse has scored 82 points in the last 2 weeks in victories over Tuskegee and Fort Valley. All right, what does a full slate look like in the MEAC? Well, it looks like 3 games. Norfolk at Howard for homecoming, South Carolina State at Delaware State for their homecoming, and Morgan State and North Carolina Central are getting it on today. Dawson Odoms has one of the teams to beat in the MEAC, along with South Carolina State. And that's what everybody's kind of feeling, right? And Coach Odoms feeling better and better about his team from week to week as he just still getting to know the guys' names. Going into Howard today for homecoming, looking to upset things in D.C.
I think 2 teams are playing, pretty good football. I think they're coming off a bye week, which is always tough. It's tough to get ready for a team that's got fresh legs, recharge themselves mentally, and getting ready to play football after that bye week. But hey, that's how the schedule is dealt, and we got to be ready to play. And that's why I told our guys, it's now or never. If you want something, you got to go into enemy territory and you got to state your claim. And we plan on getting ready to play a very talented football team, and we're going to need to play very well if we're going to have a chance.
All right, Buddy Pugh and his boys happy to get a win last week. Can they do it again? They're leaving the comforts of home at Orangeburg, and they're headed up north. Homecoming for Delaware State.
These whippings are hard to handle, and we've had our share. We've gotten beaten up in the preseason pretty good, and to win a game Saturday feels good today. We've got our work cut out for us now, though, in the rest of the league. We play Delaware for the third time. I don't know if I've ever had a situation where we played a team 3 times in one calendar year before. And, we won both games. Probably should have lost both games. Should have lost one for sure. The last one up there, and their guy missed a field goal. And then they sent that guy down to FAMU, and he kicked field goals all over our play, all over our fan. I said he was getting back after us. You know what? Coach Milstead was talking about that cannon. I think we must have sold that cannon to Florida A&M because they shot it a bunch of times down there a couple of weeks ago when we were down there. And every time they shot it, I jumped because it was so loud. But, we got our work cut out for us, headed up to Dover, Delaware on the bus, this coming weekend. And, we look forward to being there for their homecoming. You know how they do when they bring a homecoming. They bring the softest in for homecoming. So we're going up there and, trying to, see if we can maybe hang with them guys for a little bit.
Now, Coach Pugh emphasized that they would be on that bus. I don't know if he likes that too much. I wouldn't like it. That's roughly a 600-mile trip from Orangeburg up to Delaware. Whew. That's about 9 hours. Bruh. Okay, on to the CIAA. No one is running up the light bill this week in the conference. All daylight affairs. Homecoming for WSSU. Have fun, Rams. Fayetteville State with a short trip to Raleigh. Smith at Shaw, Bowie State, and Union. Our game of the week, the way we see it in the CIAA. Wally Pitt will be all over that one with the cinematography. Shawan at Elizabeth City, and Lincoln shooting for another conference win. It will be a tough one at Virginia State. Sometimes that country comes out and I say stuff like shoot. All right, Stephen Gaither will be all over the WSSU homecoming. He has a preview of today's action.
What's up, TC? I am here at Bowman Gray Stadium, home of the Winston-Salem State University Rams. Now, things are empty right now, but that won't be the case on Saturday. It's homecoming for the Rams, and so the fans here will be piling into Bowman Gray to see if they can keep their streak alive. So you may remember they started off the season 0-4, including a really ugly loss to Chowan, 73-7. Yeah, 73-7. But since then, things have kind of righted for the ship for the Rams. It started with the promotion of Cam Smith to offensive coordinator. In the last couple of weeks, they've scored 26 points against Johnson C. Smith and 41 points against St. Aug, and both of those have been wins. Now, they'll be taking on the Livingstone College team that already has a win under its belt, unlike its last 2 opponents, but hasn't beaten Winston-Salem State since 1998. TC, you were still in school then, right? Maybe? I don't know. But anyway, it's been a really long time, way before I got here, since Livingstone beat Winston-Salem State. But Winston-Salem State this year has clearly had its ups and downs. And so both teams will come into this game hungry for a win. The 2 schools are separated by about 35-40 minutes. So there expect to be a lot of fun and competition as the Rams will see if they can win 3 in a row and get their season to end it on a positive note, while Livingstone College will be looking to do the same thing, spoil homecoming just like Shaw did here at Winston-Salem State back in 2019. So it'll be a really interesting game. I'm looking forward to it. And check out HBCUGameday.com to see the report and the photos, of course.
Hey, that's class of 96 if you're keeping track at home. Yeah, I know some of you guys were not born yet when I graduated college. Get over yourselves, whippersnappers. All right, Tennessee State on the road today at Eastern Illinois, which will give the Tiger fans a week to get their act together. Let me tell you, Eddie George is not a fan of you guys not showing up for those home games at Nissan Stadium. When he played there, they showed up. Well, that didn't stop TSU from pulling out a dramatic win last weekend against Tennessee Tech, but Coach George not a fan. He's been talking about it in the media with the empty seats. We could have told him now if he would have asked that once that HBCU tour ends in September and that OVC schedule kicks in, so does the apathy. We could have told him that. And there's still that chip that they can cash in with the SWAC. I'm sure the SWAC would say, come on, we've been waiting, come on. I'm just saying, but you do what you got to do, Tennessee State. It's your business, not mine. We just report what happens. All right, so you got to win last weekend. We reported that. Eastern Illinois doesn't have a great record, but they are 1-1 in the conference, along with Tennessee State. And you see it there on the screen. It's better to be at the top than it is closer to the bottom. Still a lot of time left in the season for the OVC and TSU. There's not a lot of time left in the show because we are done. That was it. It's over. HBCU game day Saturday. You can go blow leaves now, like I have to do because it's fall and these things happen. But I'll be right back here tonight for HBCU game day Saturday night. We'll have all the scores for you and throughout the day. Hang out with us at hbcugameday.com for updates, analysis, pictures. We're doing the TikTok-y thing. So if you like to hang out there, you'll probably, I know the powerhouse will be on our TikTok today. I bet my pinky fingernail that it will be there. So check that out. All right, we'll see you guys later. Appreciate you hanging out. Enjoy your Saturday.
Everybody here is cheering, all your worries disappearing, y'all, it's game day. Whether televised or streaming live in person while you're screaming, no more waiting, no more dreaming, y'all, it's game day.